This will be the most intimate panel you've ever experienced in your life. Because I take it Jared and Jensen are having pictures right now? Is that what's going on? Thank you all for staying at my panel. I appreciate you so much. I will answer all your questions. I will talk all the dirt. I will make up rumors about those two handsome guys because I'm here and they're not. And that's how it's going down. So if you have questions, I will ramble as long as I can. If you want to sit in a circle and tell stories. Do I what? The first rumor I will make up is that it started yesterday, but my biceps are actually bigger than Jensen's thighs. It's kind of a rumor, it might be true, we're gonna find out at the end of the day. Great job singing at karaoke last night. I loved the head banging, it really worked with your hair color.
Thank you.
What's your question here?
So my question is there anything you ever dreamed of doing in life and you haven't had the chance to do so, but you really still want to pursue it?
That's a great question. Wow. You know what? I'm doing the thing that I never dreamed of, which is having a career in Hollywood and making movies and trying to do this stuff. I never thought that was even possible. And then you get there, and you dream on, right? You dream on bigger, and you're like, I want to continue to make projects with my friends. So like my only driving goal in life right now is to continue making entertainment for you people and doing it with the people that I love. Like that is the perfect experience for me. If I can make that happen, that's what I'm chasing. Other than that, the only other thing that I dream about is hopefully being on Earth long enough to watch my son grow up. You know, that's it. I just want to see, you know, you get a little person in your life and he's little, and then every year he replaces that little kid you loved with another little kid you love, and he turns 10 next Thursday, and I don't know what the hell happened in the last 10 years of my life. You know, you fall in love every day, your heart's broken every night, you wake up every day, and that's, if I can get to grow old and watch him get old, that's it. That's all I want, really. There's no other driving force in life except to grow old with your family and get to grow old. So many of us are like, I'm old now, but you get to be old. You gotta remember that, right? Like you wake up and I'm sad. Well, you get to be sad that day. You also get to breathe air so you can get past your sadness. You know, remember that. Like all the struggles in life, you get to have them because you do have a life and you do have feelings and you do have emotions. And life always goes up and down all the time, but we get to be here. We're here together, all 6 or 7 of us in this panel. It is. Thank you for your question. That is a great question. And to put a point on it, it's just about being here and being able to experience people. Because you get to an age, 42 years old, and you start going, what am I doing here? Why make movies, big deal, like what's my purpose in life? Well, your purpose is to have as many relationships with as many people as possible. I want to know all of you, I want to leave all of you with some piece of me, and I want that piece that you take to affect you. That's the purpose of life. I'm not a guru, right? I didn't figure it out. Just stop asking. That's the thing, you know, you get to a certain age and you're like, nah, it's about people. Life is about people, not what you do, not what politics you think, not what purse you buy, not what car you drive. Connection. When we're gone, we'll remember the connection. It's nothing else. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Hello!
Hello!
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Did you enjoy karaoke last night?
I was sick. I had to go early. I'm sorry.
I can't accept that.
Yeah. I, needed to have the strength to have
When we come back for Jib 16, don't miss karaoke.
I'll try.
It was a good time. I can barely talk today.
I know, I saw it. I was there for the first 2 songs and then I'm like, oh my god, I cannot. But it was
all right, what's your question, love?
Well, I wanted to tell you first, hi, nice to meet you, my name is Shir, and I did not have a bat mitzvah when I was young. In case you don't know, a bat mitzvah is like a ceremony that Jewish girls get when they're 12, and It's really exciting and emotional. I didn't get that because my parents just got divorced and they didn't want the whole family to be together because that would be awkward.
Sure.
So I decided to celebrate a bat mitzvah for myself last year when I turned 40.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So I invited all the family and all the high school friends, and it was a great celebration and it was great fun. So I wanted to ask you, what did you do for your bar mitzvah and what are the plans for your son?
Similarly to you, I did not have a bar mitzvah, which the reason being is I was expelled from Hebrew school. About 6 months before I turned 13 for being a little asshole. There's no other explanation, but I didn't want to have to go from normal school and then go spend 2-3 hours every day in Hebrew school. So I was a little asshole, and they told me to leave and never come back. And my dad was like, you don't want to do this. And I was like, it's not that I don't want to do it. I want to do the party part of it. I want to do the thing where I stand up there and feel really important and say my prayer and all that stuff. I just want to go learn all that stuff. He's like, you can't do it if you don't learn all this stuff. I go, well, I guess I'm not doing it. So, much like you, I celebrate myself every time I grow another year older. You know, don't call it a bar mitzvah, it's a celebration of existing.
I love it.
I don't need, honestly, I'm a very spiritual person. My religion falls in helping people and believing in people. I believe in people. That's what I believe in. It just is what it is. So I don't need a ceremony to tell me, oh, you're a man now. I ain't no man, I'm a little boy. I've always been a little boy, I'm always going to be a little boy. I can raise a young man and I can teach him all the lessons, but as soon as he gets 10, 11 years old, well, now he's caught up to dad. That's where I stop, you know? I want to play. There's a child in my heart, and just because my hair's getting gray and my face is getting old, man, I'm a child, and I don't want to. And you are too. That's the thing. Oh, yeah. We all get a bunch of bills, and we get a bunch of life circumstances that are like, I'm an adult now. No, you're not. You're a kid in an old-ass meat suit. That's what's happening. It's true. You think, I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, I was like, you can resent your parents for what they did or didn't do in raising you, but remember, your parents had kids for the first time, just like you may have kids for the first time. And breaking news, there's not a single person on earth that's ever raised a child right. Nobody's got it perfect. Everybody has just some sort of parent trauma to the child, some sort of scenario where they shouldn't have done what they did, yelled, taught a lesson that was incorrect. Nobody gets it perfect. So why are we all going to pretend because we've been here for 42 years, we're grown and smart, we know everything? Stop. Be a kid, invest in each other. Another thing is, America's torn apart by politics right now, like it's this, that, and the other thing. Your enemies are never eye level. Remember that saying. Your enemies are never eye level. Even if a person's this political following or that political following, that's not your enemy. Your enemies are up there controlling you down. And I don't mean God. I mean the people that are elite above you making the rules for how you live your life. It's not us that are at war. So if we can be the hero for each other, we become the strongest community out there. Much like the Supernatural fandom, how people show up. The world should take note of the Supernatural fandom. Be each other's hero, show up, buy each other a meal, buy each other a drink, share your room with somebody, be the hero on your own block. Don't root for those heroes that don't give a shit about you. Your politicians aren't going to call you when your life is hard. They're not going to send you a card when your mom passes away. When you have a child, they're not going to send you flowers, congratulations. You know who is? These people. The people that are around you, that live on your street, that share life with you every day. So don't jump off a cliff for some, make-believe cause of politics. The news has convinced us that's the whole world. It's not. If you shut off the news and you look around, man, the world's pretty great. It's pretty good. We're laughing, we're smiling, we're telling jokes, we're singing karaoke till we lose our voices. This is the world, not what's on the news. I don't know how I got on this tangent, but you're welcome. And I'm a child still.
Thank you.
How are we going? So make sure you guys are still awake. Hello, dear. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Great. My question is, when you started out as an actor, doing auditions, all that stuff, and then you got here, you know, being kind of a successful actor person, earning your livelihood was something you like doing, hopefully. What were decisions that you would make again? The best decisions you made that got you here? And what are decisions that you would not make again that you would do differently?
I wouldn't change anything, because if I changed anything, I wouldn't be standing right here, right now, you asking me this question, and we have this moment. So if you change anything, right, it changes everything. I would have said yes more. And I say yes a lot. When people ask me to do something, or do you want to, have this experience or that experience, sometimes they're like, no. Just say yes. The greatest advice I ever got, and I don't like to give him too much credit, but he deserves it. Richard Speight Jr., season 15 of Supernatural was coming about, and Phil Segresha, who you heard Jared say, he's now an executive producer on The Boys and a director, was an executive producer on Supernatural. He left in season 15 to go do The Boys. So a couple episodes opened up to be directed, and Rich goes, you should call Bob Singer and ask him to direct an episode. And I went, no, I'm not gonna call a guy, and I've never directed before, and be like, hey, can I direct your $5 million an episode show that you've been running for 15 seasons? And Rich said this piece of advice: you never know until you ask, number one. And number two, walk through every door that opens for you. Once you get into the place that you're in, if you don't like what's going on, you can leave. That door doesn't shut behind you, but if it opens and you walk by it, you never know what could have been. So say yes more. Say yes to experiences, to conversations, to emotions, anything you can. Just say yes, and it'll open your experience to life, will be way more richer. I called Bob Singer. I said, hey, can I direct your show? I sent him an email. He didn't respond to me for 3 months. I thought, oh, I burned that bridge. Actor from the show, a guest star, has called the executive producer of the show and said, will you please let me direct it? Like, what kind of craziness is that? 3 months later, I get an email back, hey, you're coming up to direct. That's all it said. And that's how it happened, because I asked. And if I didn't ask, I would have never been here today, just finished directing and starring in a movie with half the Supernatural cast. So say yes.
And actually, I started off with another question, but then changed it on a whim. I don't know why.
Come on, give it to me.
Yeah. So when you auditioned for Supernatural, when you got the role, there was already some kind of a legacy of that show. What was it like entering a show that was as big as that, and that had that much meaning to so many people?
I didn't know what the show was when I auditioned for it. I'd never seen it or heard of it. The pressure for me was when you have to play somebody else, right? So I was playing Jeffrey Dean Morgan. You know, I watched a couple episodes of him. Obviously, he's a brilliant actor. He's a lovely guy on the show. We love him so much. Not so much John Winchester, but we love Jeffrey Dean. And I didn't want to let, I knew there was a following of the show. Once you start exploring it, you understand there's a fandom here. You don't want to let those people down, because if you let those people down, you're ruining what they love. So I started looking at Jeffrey's work from Grey's Anatomy. I used his performance on Grey's Anatomy mostly in my first character. And then the last time I got to play, it's me and Jared in the car in season 11, I had met Jeffrey then. So my performance changed a little bit once I met him, and you spend some time with Jeff, you understand that he's like a little different, he has just a different resonance. I try to bring that to the character, but it's, when I walked in the casting room, the casting director holds my picture up, and I'm sitting like in a chair, like from here. And he's sitting like this, and he holds my picture up in front of my face, and he looks, and he moves it to the side, and he goes, I hope you don't suck. And I was like, okay, that's reassuring. He's like, because you look enough like Jeff, and we haven't had a lot of people that look like him. So I got lucky, you guys have taken me in, and it means the world to me. So if there's an opportunity to do justice to John Winchester, to bring more John Winchester, to evolve our universe of Supernatural, I'm here for it, and I'd be happy to do any of that, make that happen, and I'm still fighting for all those things, you know? There's been a lot of spin-offs, but there hasn't been a Matt Cohen 1978 to 1983 spin-off when John Winchester is a certain age and he only has one son, and he's coming into the other son. He's dealing with post-traumatic stress syndrome because he just came home from the war. He stops in the middle of the road. He gets out, finds a young Bobby Singer. I don't know. I could write the whole episode right now. I could just come up with another spin-off. But I'm infatuated with the years 78 to 83 for John. We haven't looked too deep into those years, and I think there's another series in there somewhere. So who knows what the future brings, but obviously we're 15 years here in Rome. We're several years past the end of the show, and we're not going anywhere. So it's gotta come back to life at some point. You can't not believe in that. I mean, this is too strong not to believe that Supernatural doesn't come back in a, you know, a reimagining or a movie or, you know, a future series, like a series on streaming where we can get away with a little more stuff. Who knows? I don't even know what your question was. Did I answer it?
You did.
Okay.
No, so I loved your John. It was really great, and I'm very happy you're here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's a gift to be invited to these things and be welcomed by you guys. Like, I don't take it for granted for a second. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hi. Oh, I wanted to do something funny earlier. Go ahead, ask your question.
What's your writing process like? Do you set a special time or start a playlist or something? Or please don't pop that.
Do I set a special time to write?
Yeah.
I try to, but I was just having this talk backstage with Jason Manns. You have to let it come out of you. You know, you can't force creativity sometimes. So sometimes I'll be walking down the street and I'll have all these ideas in my head. I just take out my phone and I start writing them down or voice texting them to myself. I don't really have a process. I try to wake up in the morning and be creative then when my mind hasn't been, you know, overwhelmed with the day of life, of children, family, whatever it is. I try to use the morning, but it doesn't always work. But I think in the morning, Albert Einstein, when he would invent, he would sit at his desk. He would keep 2 ball bearings, metal balls in his hand the size of golf balls. He would work late until he would fall asleep. And right when he would feel himself getting tired on his desk, he would have the 2 balls in his hand. So the second he fell asleep, the balls would fall and wake him back up. The reason being, right when you wake up, your mind works in what's called a flow state. It's one of the easiest ways for you to think creative, to think, you know, in originality and stuff like that. So I always try the morning. But if you wake up from a nap or you take a short, you know, rest, get a piece of paper and write something after that. See what comes out. You know, test what works for you. It's probably different for you than it is for me, but you don't know until you try different things, you know?
Thank you.
Yes. Hi, what's your question?
Hello, thank you for karaoke last night. Great. You keep...
What's your question?
No, you go ahead.
I'm going to, but I need to hear your question first.
Alright, well, basically, I just turned 28 a few weeks ago.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, thank you. And like you were saying about sort of aging and stuff, first of all, bad example. I feel like it's in the Barbie movie when they're like...
Yeah, it is. It's really weird to age.
Yeah, exactly, that was my point. Right. Basically, would you go back to play a young John Winchester, or are you more interested?
In a second! Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Right.
I would love to be John Winchester again. It's so good. Big John Winchester. Ooh, it's a little dizzy.
I would do anything to have another shot at John. There's so much that I was allowed to do that opened my eyes to who he was and what the future stories and untold stories that are capable of being told about John. There was a world where I wanted to do some kind of episode where it was Drake, Jeffrey, and me somehow, right? Like the Spider-Man, you know, moment. We wanted that. So there's so much to explore in this world. Let's be clear here. There's tales that have been told and never shown. There's tales that haven't been told and should be shown. And I want to be a part of all of them. Like, this show has changed my life. You people have watched me grow into a man I'm proud of because I've been able to talk to you guys and you guys affect change in me. I did one episode of Supernatural. I ended up getting a convention somewhere in the world, and I remember being so scared on the stage in the first time. I put a beanie on because I saw Jared had a beanie on, and I like sat on the stage and I was like, yes, no. Like, I didn't even know how to do it, and with you guys, I've grown into this person who can't shut the fuck up. All I do is I talk endlessly. Like, I annoy myself, but I'm happy that I can be this and accepted, but by you guys. You guys have given me life. Supernatural, I've been in 3 or 4 episodes, directed 1 episode, done 150 conventions. It's a life-changing thing. It's not about the money. It's about the growth experience. It's about the challenge of giving to people and listening to people when you're exhausted and you're tired and you're just across the world for 2 days. It makes you a better human being. It opens your eyes to the world. What do you got, love?
You said, I think it was 2013 when you wrote the file we talked about it. You said before you did the convention, you were a person you didn't like that much.
Yeah.
And it changed.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. I was raised a certain way by a single dad, and my dad's great, and I love him very much, but he did the best he could, much like many of your parents did the best they could. And maybe it wasn't good in your eyes, and maybe it wasn't great, but things that I learned about getting through the world are not the way I am now. My dad was a very tough guy, and he grew up in a very tough way, and so I became a piece of that. And I have that in me, right? I have a savage person inside me, but that's not who I want to be. I want to be this goofy weirdo that makes you guys laugh, and like just is a silly person. I don't want to have to feel like you always got to be tough and watch your back, and I don't want to do that. And so you guys gave me a platform, a literal platform to stand on and find out who I was. Now I know. I'm 42 years old and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of who I can be in front of you guys. And sometimes I'm not always in the right. Sometimes I make mistakes, but so do you. We all will. Forgive each other and move on. Listen, and I love you guys back. I don't have a home outside of Supernatural. My friends are Supernatural actors. When I make a project, I put Supernatural actors in it. When I leave my family, I go to the Supernatural fans. When I don't have work, I call the Supernatural producers, say, hey, you got anything where I could come, Supernatural is my life in a way. And I wish that I could be, telling you that I'm James Bond and I'm this and that and I'm whatever. Supernatural made me. I owe everything to it. I would be, still working other jobs if it weren't for Supernatural and the conventions and the amount of therapy I would have to pay for if I didn't get to come to these things. I come home a better person to my family when I'm here. My wife understands that giving to you guys fills me up in such a way that is remarkable. You can't explain it. You don't know that it's something you need until you pour all of your energy. And when I get on the plane Monday, I will have nothing left. I will be no voice, exhausted, tired. I land Monday in the afternoon and go straight to work trying to finish this movie. I don't care. It's worth it. This is the experience of life. I wish I could sleep 10 hours a night. But also, I'd rather experience life and sleep 3 hours a night, So I'm grateful to you guys, and I'll forever show up. That's what it is. And I've made so many promises.